Welcome. Beautiful to be with you all. Yes. What a blessing. What a blessing. So we have our next retreat coming up at Kripalu Yoga Center in Massachusetts, and I want to formally invite each of you. I'd love it if you could join us. This is going to be our big flagship retreat of the year, a week-long, July 13th through the 18th, 2025. And I'm very excited. I hope you are too. And we'd love to have you there. So it's a big retreat called Awakening the Heart. It'll be a meditation and non-dual retreat where we will really focus on healing and, of course, spiritual awakening. And we'll investigate this intersection, how, well, often it's our wound, our shadow, our confusion, whatever it is that veils our heart is the very thing, well, that tends to get in the way of us living from a space of divinity, from a space of freedom. And so if you can make it, we'd love to have you. Okay. So I meet with a lot of people, who are really struggling with some form of spiritual crisis. There's this word, spiritual emergency, when we're having big, profound spiritual experiences, and our body and our psyche, our mind doesn't know what to do with all this energy, doesn't know what to do with it. And when our body doesn't know what to do with something, well, it just tends to fight it. It tends to fight. And I'll tell you kind of a silly story. So a couple of years ago, I was out just playing around on my surfboard, and I felt something under the water touching my foot, touching my leg, coming up, kind of like wrapping itself around my toes, my calf muscles, maybe up in the hamstrings. And, like I'm going to run away scared, screaming when I feel something wrapping around my leg. And this is how the ego responds to the unknown. Now, after I, make a quick couple quick strides, running through the ocean, I realize, oh, I just have a little bit of seaweed tangled up in me. No big deal. It's nothing to worry about, nothing to be frightened of. But this is how our ego reacts to the unknown, is it freaks out. It has a little bit of a panic. Now, my ego will reference the past, because when I was young, we used to go to the Atlantic Ocean, and the Atlantic Ocean here in the United States, especially the Southern Atlantic. Well, we have a lot of jellyfish and these types of things that'll sting you and, give you, make you scream, make you scream. But here in the Pacific, we don't have much of that. We don't have much of that. And so no reason to worry, no reason to worry. But the reason I'm bringing this up is because so many of us, our human mind, our human consciousness, interprets Kundalini as some bad, evil, outside force that is trying to strangle us or overwhelm us or destroy our life, when in reality, Kundalini Shakti is the grace of God coming into us, wanting to upgrade and transmute our consciousness so that we may live from a space of divinity. From a space of divinity. So often on the path, it is important that we develop this skill of taking charge of our mind, taking charge of our perspective. And there's this old saying, when you change your mind, well, when you change your words, you change your reality. But when we don't change our mind, when we don't change our words, when we allow our ego to be on autopilot, again, you can often interpret a big, profound spiritual experience as something bad, as something crazy, as we're losing our mind. And even just to say that, like, I'm losing my mind. I meet with lots of people, and I always hear this one like, at least a couple times a week. Craig, I feel like I'm losing my mind. I'm losing a sense of time. I have brain fog. I have, early onset dementia. I have this, I have that. I can't read. And often, if we changed our words, and we showed up to the session saying, Craig, I'm growing, I'm transforming, my consciousness is opening, I'm in a timeless, eternal state. Well, you see right away, the vibrational frequency in the room shifts. But if we say, I have brain fog and I can't think and I can't do this, I can't do that, it sends us into a downward spiral of depression. But when we know that we are children of God, that God has come into our life and is awakening in us and transforming our old, outdated human consciousness and putting in its place a divine consciousness, a consciousness that is empty, that is vast, and that is free. Well, this is a different perspective, a different perspective. And energetically, when we have a healthy, happy, positive perspective towards Kundalini, relationship with Kundalini, our chakras expand, the energy can flow, and integration happens quicker, more efficiently, and more seamlessly. But when we look at this as, I'm in the dark night, this is the worst moment ever, this thing hasn't changed, it's going to kill me. It's like the chakras shut down, and I'll assure you the path will be longer. The path will be longer. So your chakras will actually look to your thoughts, look to your mental and emotional state to gauge whether they should be opened or closed. If you're in a state of fear, the chakras will be closed. If we're in a state of openness, a state of love, a state of compassion, well, the chakras naturally fall open. And open chakras are so supportive in Kundalini flowing. And of course, closed chakras are so instrumental in creating all kinds of pressure and difficulty, anxiety and intensity, when we have in Kundalini. And so this is so very important. Now, many of you I've seen have been writing in the Kundalini group on the Facebook page that it's hard at times to have faith. But faith is the great opener, the great awakener, it's the great healer, the great redeemer. And despair, well, it does nothing but slows our path. And so let us all do this. Let us shut down our eyes and let us open our hearts. Let's begin to breathe and feel and soften. And I invite you just to notice what type and what quality of thoughts flow through your consciousness. What thoughts? Do we have negative thoughts? Do we have complaining thoughts? Do we have resistant thoughts? And just for the purposes of this meditation, of being on the spiritual path, let us press the pause button on any thoughts that are negative, any thoughts that are resistant, any thoughts that complain. Let us press the pause button. Let's actually drop these thoughts and let them float downstream as we breathe, as we feel, as we soften and open. From a space of love, from a space of compassion. And let us take some time here in the beginning to breathe and to feel and to soften throughout the body. And soften the mental center of the forehead and all this mental activity behind the eyes. When we are egoically aligned, you'll feel tension in the head. There'll be a feeling of thinking or sorting or figuring, grasping, struggling to control life in one way or another. But this day, I'm inviting us to do the opposite. To invite all of our thoughts to fall away. You could even imagine just sitting on the banks of a river, letting your thoughts, any negative, any disruptive, any intrusive, any controlling, any demanding, any complaining thoughts, let them fall into the river. And in their place, may there be vast, spacious freedom. Timeless, eternal reality of peace, of expansion. And for some of you, as your consciousness expands, some of you get a little nervous about that expansion. You're accustomed to living in the small box of the body. But I am here. God is here this day to show you that you are a limitless presence. Vast, spacious, and free. So we're actively choosing to let go and actively choosing to open, to trust, to expand. The crown is open, the space of the mind is open. And consciousness is no longer limited by the physical framework of the body. So as we continue to breathe and to feel, can you trust? Can you soften? Choosing to courageously and compassionately open, inviting the throat chakra to open more fully, and inviting any judgmental debris that tends to get stuck in the throat, any sense of I need to control, a sense of repressiveness, and let's drop it in the river. Let it all float downstream. Continuing to open in the chest, the heart. Letting go of any old emotional pain. And welcoming the true nature of the heart. The true nature of the heart to come online. the nature of love, nature of innocence, nature of faith, compassion, and freedom. We're breathing in, breathing out, inviting love to triumph. Inviting love to triumph. Letting go of any thought that doubts, criticizes, that controls. Instead, breathing love into the body. Breathing compassion throughout all the points of tension. Every breath we are softening. We are melting. We are welcoming love. And for some of you who have anxiety or lots of fear, I want you to consciously make the choice to choose love, choose openness, choose compassion, to choose trust, trusting in God, trusting in this movement of Kundalini Shakti, trusting that there's a greater way to live beyond fear, beyond despair. Continuing to breathe and soften in the heart. And again, if there's tears here, we let the tears roll. We let them simply wash over the heart. Tears are simply a sign that we're letting go of something that's been really dense, really hooked into our nervous system. So feeling down into solar plexus chakra right below the heart. Softening, trusting that it's okay, it's safe to put down that egoic fight, to put down that fight, to put it down. To try something different. So instead of fighting, we're going to try to open. We do that simply through breathing and softening and softening and breathing. Putting the fight down, letting it drop in the river, floating downstream. And sometimes as we open in the solar plexus, especially if we've been fighting, we can also open simultaneously in the hara. Sometimes as we let go of our fight, we begin to open. There's a feeling of thrillingness here. Sometimes it can feel almost like a free fall through space. So let's open to this energy of being thrilling, being radically alive, stepping into the unknown. We breathe in and breathe out. stepping into a greater, more expansive reality. Opening to the aliveness of life. And finally, coming all the way down into the root chakra, in our root and in our hara, just asking, do I need to forgive my family? Do I need to forgive this world? Do I need to forgive God? Who is it? What is it that I fight with here on planet Earth, that I resist, that I fear? Who or what do I have anger towards or anger about? Can I forgive? Can I let go? Can I let it all empty? And with the emptying out, let's together take a deep, full inhale, gently drawing this Kundalini Shakti up from the earth, through the bottoms of the feet, through the legs, flowing up through the legs, flowing into the root chakra, restoring root chakra to a greater sense of harmony, greater balance as we open into the earth. We open as the earth. We open feeling fully connected and supported as this Shakti begins to flow up the spine, up through the legs, bottoms of the feet, the legs, the root, flowing up through the hara, flooding the body with this radiance and light, inviting both healing and awakening. And as this Shakti begins to flow right through the central channel, you may even feel if you're being transported to another realm, another reality. Because the intelligence of God is directing us. We're going to trust in this greater reality. Inviting this energy to flow on the inhale up the spine, the root, the hara, the solar plexus, flowing into the heart. Each of the chakra centers expanding immensely. Divine radiance, divine peace and spaciousness. Great freedom and great light. Each and every breath. Seeing, envisioning, welcoming expansion of the heart chakra. Finding love, compassion, bliss. To triumph. To triumph. Yes, so continuing to breathe, drawing this energy from below the feet, through the root, the hara, the solar plexus, the heart, flowing through the throat chakra, through the third eye, out the crown, and showering down all around you. This radiance, this grace, this light, this love. And as we come to a close with our meditation, I invite each of you to join me in this prayer. Oh, great, holy, divine Mother. Oh, great Shiva, Lord of Yoga. We ask the two of you lead us, guide us, direct us. Help us to stay positive, to stay open, compassionate, with great faith. We ask that you teach us from the inside out, that you lead us, that you direct us, that you guide us, that you show us whatever is out of alignment in our life. You give us the strength to bring ourselves, our body, our mind, our heart, our soul, into alignment with your highest will. With your highest will. So we release our prayers, the feet of the divine ones. We go forward with a heart open, our mind clear, choosing to live our highest life. And so, we can gently open our eyes. And I welcome you into this space. And so now we're going to move into sharing time. And so we're going to share now. And if you're listening at a later date on YouTube, you can put something in the comments below. For